Can you tell us a little bit more about your new product?
Yeah, we've got quite a few things here at Rode at NAB this year. So first of all, we have the new RØDELink II UHF wireless system. So for those that aren't aware, there's multiple different transmission frequencies in wireless. A lot of the systems that we have at the moment are in the 2.4 gigahertz band, but we also now have a UHF, which is ultra high frequency wireless. And it's extremely immune to things like body blocking or obstacles in the way, all that kind of stuff. So we've been working with another company that's in the Friedman group where Rode is, called Lectrosonics, on this wireless system. It has 32-bit floating point recording on board, and it's designed as a really intuitive camera-based system. So if you have a look here, this is what the receiver looks like sitting on top of the camera. You have a nice record button directly on top to trigger the recording on those transmitters. And it's actually a really clever system. So you can automatically scan your frequencies. It'll select a main and a backup frequency per transmitter. It'll automatically hop between those frequencies if it ever detects any kind of interference. And it also has adaptive output power. So this is a very intuitive, easy to use system, a nice bright OLED screen. You've got a simple record button on the top of the interface, removable antennas for the receiver, and it comes with your lavalier mics and everything. It'll be available around the middle of the year for $1,499 US. That's the first one. Next, we've launched a really intuitive app for podcast editing. So as you might know, Rode has been in the podcast game for a very, very long time. We had the very first microphone called the RØDECaster way back in the day, obviously the RØDECaster series. And what we have launched here at the show is a AI-driven podcast editing app called RØDECaster Studio. So RØDECaster Studio is all about giving you time back in editing. It's a super clever editing solution that basically enables you to tag all of your guests in your podcast, and just using simple prompts, you can fully edit a podcast in minutes.
It's based on AI, you just tell what you want and they're going to use your voice and stuff?
Exactly. So if you have a look here...
They're going to learn from your voice or just like generic voice?
No. It doesn't generate a voice. It actually just uses your exact podcast. So you record a podcast, as soon as you hit stop, if you're using a RØDECaster Pro or RØDECaster Duo, it'll upload to Rode Cloud. Otherwise, you can just upload your podcast directly in the app. And if you have a look here, I'll show you a really long podcast. Like here, I've got a podcast that's an hour and 54 minutes. Now, that would normally take you hours upon hours to properly edit that podcast, but I can do very simple things. I can just click on buttons here to remove filler words, for instance, and as soon as I tap that, it'll read the transcript, it'll analyze the context. You can see here I've got all of the guests named. Ryan, that's me. We've got Peter, Daniel, all tagged. But what it's done now, you can see it's taken every single filler word in the context that it was spoken by the person, and it's given me the option to remove them. So I can remove 2,792 filler words that I can remove in literally like 10 seconds. That would have been hours of editing. I can just apply that to all, and now every single filler word that somebody had in that podcast has been tightened up, and we've reduced the length of that podcast significantly. I can also type it and just talk to it. I could say, give me a highlights reel. Highlights reel about Rode, right? And I just talk to it. And now it's going to think, it'll read the transcript, it'll analyze the context of what I'm saying, and it will now duplicate this composition into a separate podcast, so it's not completely changing my podcast. It's now going to build a whole podcast that is just a highlights reel of this podcast that was an hour and 50.
So is it a subscription base or is it free?
So it is a subscription base with a free tier. So it's all based on your usage. So you can see right here now it's created a new highlights reel where it's removed so much of the podcast, and I can apply that and it'll now create a very tight highlights reel for the podcast. So there's a free tier and then there are subscription tiers above that just based on your usage. So there is a closed beta group that's going out right now, and I'll give you guys a card. You could share it with your audience so people can check it out and sign up for that beta usage of the RØDECaster Studio app. Now, if you come over here, we've got a couple of other cool things. So, if you watch any kind of podcast, you would very often see the Rode PSA-1 or PSA-1 Plus studio arms, which are overhead-style studio arms. This is a low-profile arm, and it's fully aluminium construction. The build quality on this is unbelievable, and you can see it's got a really nice little ball joint set up here that's in a nice black nickel finish. And you can basically position your mic wherever you want. You've got 360-degree swivel on this, and really, really nice hardware. I don't know if you can get the camera down here to have a look at this, but even like the hardware around getting it onto the desk is a really nice detailed clamp design there. You can tension it down really nice and tight, keep all wobble and wiggle out of this arm. So
Is it only can hold Rode mic or any other mic?
any mic. So you've got a 3/8 thread
What
on the
is
top
weight
here.
for
So
holding?
up to 2 kilograms you can hold at full extension on this arm. And as you can see, you know, it is really, really solid. Yeah. The nice thing about this ball head design as well is you can get the microphone into positions that otherwise would have been quite awkward. You can even use it to mount up other equipment. It doesn't necessarily just have to be a microphone. So we have that. We also have another arm.
Video thing.
Sorry?
The new video feature, I see you guys.
Sure, absolutely. You can mount if you have a thread adapter, you can actually also mount up a camera or anything, you know, onto that. We also have a range of accessories like phone cages and things that you can mount on this arm and use it for top downs or anything you like. Get it, you know, kind of coming out under your monitor. But yeah, this is going to be available very soon. We also have another mount called the DS3, which
Show it to me.
yeah, so the DS3 is just over here in the corner there. What I'll do, I'll just reach. This one is a really nice heavy bass stand, but again we have that nice ball joint at the top here to be able to position your mic, and there's a range of different inserts that we'll be providing. So these are magnetically attached, but you can see we've got a nice natural cork on a white stand here.
If you want, you can custom your own part.
Exactly. So we'll have a range of different inserts that you can have to style it for your studio. You've got cable management clips, and it's a really nice solution for mounting on your desk, mounting cameras, all sorts of things. We even store a series of thread adapters in the back here. So if you want to go down to a 1/4-inch thread for video work, you've got that. You can even bring it back up to a 3/8 or a 5/16 thread. So this one I'll show you on the desk. Somebody's phone there. So you can see you've got quite a range of adjustment there. So anyone sitting at pretty much any desk, that's going to be plenty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and it's really nice and heavy. And if you feel the weight of that, you'll see it's like a really. So the idea there is something really nice and stable. We've also got a couple of other things that we're launching in the video space. So something that a lot of people are really excited about with the RØDECaster video series. Which, if you have a look at this device here, this is the RØDECaster Video. We have the RØDECaster Video S and the RØDECaster Video Core.
It's going to be launched soon.
So no, this one's already been in the market for a little while. We have the RØDECaster Video S on display, and we also have the RØDECaster Video Core just at the booth over here. Now, these video switches have been in the market for a while, and we're constantly working on new updates for them. Something that's really exciting is that we are launching a 4K 30 capture mode that enables you to capture into each one of the HDMI inputs a 4K 30 source, record the isolated track straight to your SSD, output different previews, and do some very basic switching on there. Perfect for using it with NDI, for instance, with different software like OBS or whatever streaming software you're using. So that's a nice little preview of what we have launched here at Rode at NAB 2026.